Good afternoon. Everybody ready?
One second.
Okay.
Okay, everybody ready? Okay.
Again, thank you all for being here today. Today we want to talk about our 4th of July plan and all of the festivities going on in the city. The Atlanta Police Department, in partnership with a host of local and state government agencies, have a comprehensive security plan in place for the 4th of July celebration. We've been planning for this event since 2015 in July. We're prepared to keep citizens and visitors safe. They attend their annual City of Atlanta events. The security plan includes strong law enforcement presence on the morning of the AJC Peachtree Road Race and the evening fireworks at Centennial Olympic Park, as well as Lenox Square. The center that you're in, the Joint Operations Center, will be open 24 hours at the Public Safety Headquarters here. The Operation Shield Video Integration Center will provide those real-time cameras into the Video Integration Center. The cameras are in place along the road route, race route, and around the city. The cameras feed into that Video Integration Center and our Joint Operations Center here. We will have law enforcement assistance from the Georgia State Patrol, the FBI, the GBI, MARTA, Fulton County Sheriffs, Georgia Army National Guard, and the Georgia Emergency Management Agency, as well as several City of Atlanta departments on hand to assist. Our mounted patrol and as well as undercover officers will be also present in the crowd for crowd control. Officers working 24 hours a day 12-hour shifts on the 4th and the 5th, and on the 4th of July, all off days will be canceled for the Atlanta Police Department. Specifics to the Peachtree Road Race, we have been meeting with the Atlanta Fire Rescue, and we have a representative with one of our chiefs here today, the Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management Agency, Great EMS, and a host of other first responders agencies for several months regarding the preparation for the race. We spent countless hours going over a number of scenarios ranging from bombings to extreme heat and extreme weather. We also carefully planned public safety communications, logistics, as well as resources. A kind of careful coordination and planning is something we have done for many years. I can assure you that the Atlanta Police Department and these other agencies will provide the necessary resources to make sure we're prepared for any event. We encourage everyone to come out to run the road race, to cheer for the participants, and we want to continue them to have a good time, continue to encourage them to have a good time. The Atlanta Police Department will be vigilant and prepared, as well as our other many public safety partners. As you know, we are prepared. We have a significant plan in place. You will see our officers take the route effective on the 3rd. We began a number of things, as you can see as you drive up Peachtree Road. You'll see our barricades are already on the route, and so we're preparing to make sure that we are ready to deal with any situations that may come. I'll then now turn over to the fire chief, if you'd like to have a comment.
Yes. Greetings on behalf of our Fire Chief Joel Baker. The Atlanta Fire Rescue Department will be working very closely with our public safety partners to ensure that the citizens of Atlanta are safe on this upcoming holiday weekend. We will be at full staffing. All scheduled leave has been canceled, and we will be activating mobile medic response teams to ensure that we have a maximum response effectiveness throughout the city of Atlanta. Thank you.
So, as we said earlier, we'll have a joint operation with the AJC Track Club for the race in the morning. So they will be in the joint center here with us as we make sure that we provide all of the necessary provisions for this race. And of course, the events on the 4th of July for the celebrations and the fireworks at Lenox. Lenox will have a representative in our Joint Operations Center, as well as Centennial Olympic Park here in this location. So with that, we will take any questions that you might have, and we look forward to continue to provide the kind of service to the visitors in the city of
Chief, how
Atlanta.
can the public help you out?
Clearly, it's always critical that we get the public involved in making sure that if they see things that are out of the norm, to call 911 to allow us to investigate those things. It goes back to the old saying, if you see something out of the norm, please call and say something. And so leave that to us. No matter how small you think that issue is, allow us to come and investigate that particular situation, as well as making sure that you pack lightly if you carry anything to the events. If you leave bags unattended, that creates a really challenge for us. So we're encouraging you not to bring bags to either event so that we can make sure that we provide for the public safety. Thank you for that question. Anything else?
Chief, in light of yesterday's announcements about the summer safety plan, and then there was an attempted armed robbery and shooting at Lenox Mall, comment on towards that, on what happened there and how you feel about this.
Well, obviously, was extremely disturbed at any action such as that, and that yesterday was a prime example of what we talked about yesterday. A number of guns out there in play. People are really reacting very violently, but even in that, it allowed us to show a very, very quick response to that situation because of the resources that we had on the streets. I feel confident that the evidence that we have, that we're gathering, will be able to identify those individuals, and so we're working to make sure that we can continue to bring that to closure.
In that, following up on his question, in that particular case, what can you all do right now? I know that for a while, the major over in Zone 2 actually put some Atlanta police officers there on patrol, actually inside the mall area, the mall parking lot. With all the demands that you have, particularly with this weekend coming up, are you going to be able to sustain that for Lenox and Phipps?
Well, let me just say this. We've been working with Lenox Square and Phillips Plaza to do two things. To make sure that we have a good connectivity with their cameras. Their cameras are fully integrated into our network at the Video Integration Center. We've asked that they improve or upgrade some of the cameras that they have on the exterior of the property. We've had conversations with the mall management concerning having their off-duty officers patrolling the outside as opposed to spending all of their time inside. So we've had very good dialogue with the management team there, and we're confident that they'll continue to do that. One other point, we do have a mini precinct there at Lenox Square, which our tactical traffic unit dispatched from that location. So they are there providing additional coverage in that space.
What, in a scenario such as that, what do the motorists need to do, the motorists, the customers, what do they need to do when they approach that parking lot?
Well, I just think at all times, our citizens need to be aware of their surroundings. That's the first piece of advice that I would tell anyone. And then make sure that you're doing everything you can to prevent yourself, to be prepared to move, to get into your vehicle with your car keys in your hand so you can get in that vehicle and move on. And I would encourage people to make sure being aware of your surroundings is just simply not going back to your car when you see people lurking around. So just be smart around what's going on. And if you see things out of the way, just simply call 911. And specifically on that private property, go back into the mall and get in contact with security so that they can find out exactly what people are doing on their property. We need everybody involved to try to push this back. And so the relationship that we've developed, not with just Lenox, but a number of malls throughout the city, working on trying to come up with plans that's efficient and that makes sense. It's clear to us that having a good overlay of cameras, it gives us a vision into what's going on. And it perhaps even might prevent a particular situation. And obviously it gives us information that we can use to detect a crime and solve a crime. But we need each other looking and reporting things that are out the norm.
Chief,
Do you know if there's video of this incident exactly?
I'm sorry, repeat
Do you know
that?
if there's video of this incident at Lenox?
We are reviewing some film some coverage of that location, that particular incident.
Is MARTA stepping up enforcement at the Lennox station and at Midtown?
Absolutely, they are. They are fully involved in this plan. They are. We will have a representative from MARTA here in our Joint Operations Center. They've been involved in this plan since July of 2015, and as we conclude this event successfully on July the 5th, they will be with us again at the end of this month, end of July, working on the 2017 4th of July celebrations.
Regarding July 4th preparations, what do you want us to tell citizens about their vehicles being on Peachtree or in areas where they don't need to be?
We will probably, if we haven't already, filed a traffic advisory plan throughout the city, warning people to just simply to pack patience if you're going to drive, and if you could possibly not drive, utilize public transportation, use MARTA to get to and from this particular event, the Peachtree Road Race, as well as the fireworks at Lennox and also Centennial Olympic Park. Park in well-lit parking lots, and don't ride alone if you can. We need fewer cars on the road as possible.
Ernie, last question.
Chief, in regards to the Peachtree Road Race, how has your job and your department's job changed since the Boston attack, and how stressful is this for you personally, carrying on such a big undertaking as this?
Well, Ernie, I appreciate that question. And I tell you, the way that we began to prepare for this event after Boston changed expeditiously. As you know, never before until Boston, we did not request through the governor's office to have the Georgia National Guard involved. And since that time, they are on standby and they are prepared, and they will have a commander in this Joint Operations Center for us. That's one thing. The other piece, we were able to begin to lay out a secure environment by placing cameras on the entire route. We began doing that because of Boston. So now we know that we have an operational plan that includes every square inch of this this race under surveillance on our cameras, that we will have access in our Joint Operations Center so that we can see what's going on for situational awareness, so we can move resources around. And then I think if you look at what has taken place since Boston, and I think that we've gone to even another level since November 13th of last year when the Paris bombing took place. We have had to train additional officers to be prepared for that incident that we began to see happen in Paris. Multiple strike locations, making sure that we have resources, first responder resources, meaning within inside the Atlanta Police Department. We've trained up a contingency of officers with long rifles with high skills to be able to respond more rapidly, not just for this event, but any event that may occur inside the city. We've doubled the size of our SWAT team, and with all prepared to try to mitigate any situation that will come.
So there will be snipers along the route?
We will have individuals, police officers on the route working. I won't say what our techniques will be, but we will definitely have officers in every aspect that you can imagine, in plain clothes, as spectators and as runners. We will have people all throughout the route, as well as our partners. You will see the Georgia State Patrol at probably every intersection with officers. You will see the GBI working in counterterrorism with our people. You'll see the FBI working as well. And you may not see them, but trust me that they'll be there.
But the long rifles will be there. You have to wait for somebody to bring them.
Our SWAT team and all of our long rifles will be deployed in this event, as well as the fireworks event in the evening.
Are you more worried this year than last?
Well, I will tell you, we were just listening to an event that was a possible officer involved active shooting situation at the Navy, at the Air Force Base in Washington, D.C. Anytime a local official hear those kind of incidents, it always brings you to another level. For us, that we began discussing right away, what if? And we've done a number of scenarios. We've had a number of tabletops on what might happen, what we might perceive would happen, and how we would respond. But until that situation occur, we will only know then how well we've trained for those situations. Let me just say this. Our desire, our hope, is that absolutely nothing takes place and that people will have fun with their family and friends in this event and also the fireworks event, and that we'll move forward and be prepared for the next year event. Our intent is to have the best plan possible to anticipate the worst issue that may come up and pray that none of that take place.
We'll be
Thank-
sending out a press release later today with all the road closures and all this information. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you all.